welcome back to my channel. First, to address the obvious or not so obvious change in my room, we had a slight mishap last week and my swing broke and fell. So thankfully nobody was hurt, but that is an empty space that I have to figure out what to do with. Anyways, getting back to today's video, I think by now everybody knows how obsessed I am with art, painting, drawing, all of it. And over the years, I have collected a bunch of art supplies. So I thought, why not share them with you? And if you're a beginner looking to start out and wondering what supplies to buy, maybe this can help. So let's start. I have made categories of all the art supplies. So let's start with the most basic one, paper. So the first book that I have here is a generic artist pad. This is by the company Matrix. It's in the size A3 and the papers are 130 GSM. So I basically use this for all of my pencil and pen works and for trying and experimenting with new mediums. However, I do avoid making like proper artworks on this paper because it is still quite thin and I do prefer a little more thicker professional quality grade papers, which I will show you now. Also, I am currently out of loose watercolor paper, but I have used them plenty in the past. I usually go for the company Canson and I think that their watercolor papers are amazing. But if you're looking for something a little more professional, you can go for Chitrapat, Arches, Hindustan's 100% cotton paper. I think all of those are amazing. Recently, I have also been quite invested in sketchbooks instead of loose sheets of paper. So the first sketchbook that I have is this one. It is the Brewster's Multimedia Sketchbook. So basically I can use any medium on this: watercolor, pen, paper, oil pastels, dry pastels, and I have tried all of them out. So they're not specifically made for one type of medium. So they may be a little lax, I'd say, in a few mediums, but work extremely well for other mediums. But it does work really well for experimenting, trying out things, and that is why I love this. The next sketchbook that I have is specifically for watercolors. It is the Hindustan's 100% cotton 300 GSM watercolor sketchbook. So this is actually quite a good quality paper, I'd say. The paper is quite thick, which means you can easily layer and it holds a lot of water. So that will make your watercolor painting stand out even more. Moving on to the other tools, I have my palette here. This is the palette that I have been using from my first year of college, which was 4 years back. And one of my major subjects back in college was actually art. Like in my first year, that was one of my core subjects, which is why I have so many art supplies. So anyways, this palette has worked really well. And as you can see, it's not entirely clean right now because it has tons of acrylics, but I need to peel them off. So I will let them layer a little bit more before I peel them. Anyways, this works great for watercolors, acrylics, poster colors, all of that. So very handy. I don't remember the brand. I think I picked it off from a local art supply store and it's very easily available everywhere. To store water, I use glass jars like these, and these are both jars that I think came with some food packaging, and I just repurposed them into storage containers for my water. And as you can see, I've used them quite a bit, and always I like using two different jars for my paintings, especially if I'm doing watercolor paintings. I like having one jar which only holds clean water so that my paints don't get muddy, and the other one is obviously just to wash my brushes off, and these are the two ones that I've been using for the longest time now. Next, let's talk about brushes. So I store my brushes in a pouch like this. This is something that I picked off from Amazon, and I'll make sure to link it below so you can check it out if you want. But moving on to the actual brushes, these are the ones that I use. These are mostly Camlin and fine art brushes, and these are obviously not the most professional quality brushes that you can get, but they work really well for me, and I don't feel like I need to invest in a professional grade artist brush yet, but maybe soon. Anyways, these brushes have worked really well for me. Again, these are brushes that I've collected all over the years, so I really like them. Another favorite is the Sakura's Travel Brush Pen. So this brush actually you can detach the brush head and then fill this whole part up with water. So if you are traveling or you're at a place where you can't access a water container and water, what this does is it stores your water for you, and you can see like that's just how you can use it. I don't know how else to explain it, but that also works really well. And the last thing that I hold in this pouch is my calligraphy nib holder. This is something that I picked up from Hindustan. I don't remember the brand, but it works really well. I can keep changing out my nibs according to the effects that I want, and it's something that works really well. If you want to know more about it, I've spoken more about it in my calligraphy video that you can check out. Continuing with the whole calligraphy thing, this is another pen that I love. This is by Parker, and this actually holds a lot of sentimental value for me because my mom used this to learn calligraphy and she handed it down to me when I was learning calligraphy. And yeah, I mean, you can see that it's practically ancient, but it works really well, and this is something that I think I will hold with me even after it stops working because I just love it so much. Another set of calligraphy markers that I have are these. So they're from the company Manuscript, and in my personal opinion, they are good if you want to begin learning calligraphy and if you want different colors. But I would personally prefer using a calligraphy pen like the Parker or the nib holder and nibs as opposed to this. So yeah, I mean, it's okay, but it's not the best, I would say, for me personally. Moving on to brush pens. So this is a set by Camlin, and this is a very beginner friendly set. I do think that the nib is way too soft, so it becomes a little difficult to write with it, but if you're learning, that's great. Moving on to slightly more professional but also expensive brush pens are these. These are brush pens by Miniso. They're actually aquarelle brush pens, which means that they blend really well. So the effect of this is very similar to a Copic pen, and that works really well as well. Like, I really like the nib of this and the whole feel of it. Another slightly higher quality brush pens are the Pigma's brush pens, and these are ones that I'm not 100% happy with. Like, I think the nibs are still a little bit soft, so it takes a little while to get used to writing with it. And I would personally prefer the Miniso ones over these, and this is something that I just picked up to try, but I'm not sure if I will ever pick up any more colors of this again. Moving on to one of my absolute favorite art supply is these fine liners from Staedtler. These were actually gifted to me by one of my art teachers, and I have been using these ever since then. It's been about 3 years now, and they still work like magic. If I had to choose only one art supply to keep out of everything, it would 100% be these, and these are something that I can safely say I am looking forward to ordering one more of once these get over. Keeping up with the theme, another pen brand that I really like is Jelly Rolls by Sakura. So I picked up their whole souffle collection. So these are essentially pens that write on black paper. So if you write on black paper, they show up really neon and look extremely well. So they're not one of those colors that have a lot of glitter to show on black paper. They are just matte colors that show up on black paper and work really well. And on white paper, they look a little bit pastel, but that is also a good effect. I also have some of their classic colors, and I think a couple of pens from their Moonshine series. So what that does is it makes an almost paint-like effect, like it's very opaque. So it almost looks like a gouache on paper, which I absolutely love. Moving on to other traditional mediums, I have a set of watercolor pencils here. So this is by the brand Staedtler, and these are the Staedtler Lunas. So these are again a set of watercolor pencils that I've had from college, so it's been 4 years now, and these are something that work really well, not just as basic color pencils, but also when you add water, it does give you a very watercolor painting like effect, so that's amazing. Continuing with the watercolors, I happen to have the Staedtler's watercolor tubes. Honestly, these were a huge disappointment. I picked them up because I was out with my regular watercolors, which is the Faber-Castell and Camlin ones, and I was looking to get into something a little better than those, and I was told that these were really great ones, but in reality they work more like gouache than watercolors. Like, I don't find the transparency to be very optimal. And also, if you touch the color, even after weeks of applying it, even if you just rub your hand over the color will lift off. You will see some powder on your fingers, so that is not something that I recommend at all. Anyways, to store my watercolors, I use a tin like this. So this is a box that I actually picked up from Hindustan online again. And with this box, I picked up these half pans. So these are just tiny pans that you can pour your color into, and this helps in reducing wastage a lot because color in the tubes tend to dry out a lot faster than the colors in these pans do. So on this side, I have the Staedtler watercolors. Again, as I said, I don't really like them, but I don't want to be wasteful, so I'm not going to pick up any more watercolors anytime soon until I finish these. So yeah. And on the other side, I have some leftover watercolors from college. Yes, they are that old and I don't know if I should be using them, but I have them and I don't want to throw it away. So these are a mix of, I think, Camlin and Faber-Castell's Artist Grade colors. These are ones that I actually really liked, even back in college, and even now I think I use them a lot more than I use these ones. So yeah. Continuing with paints, I generally like removing art supplies like paints into transparent containers like this, simply because it makes it easier for me to look and see what color I'm choosing. So here I have some acrylics from two companies. I have the Fevikrill's acrylic colors and I also have the Camel's Fabrica acrylic colors, both of which work really well, and they are of course very beginner friendly and I've been using them on and off. So yeah, that is also something that I like. Next up, moving to poster colors. I don't want to spill this, but these are my collection of poster colors and I only think I have the Camel ones. These are again a set that I've had since college and I used to use these a lot for hand-drawn graphics, but I do not use them too much now, which is why it's still quite full. Like, I still have a lot of it. Another set of paints that I have are these gouache paints that I picked up from this company called White Nights by Neviska Palitra. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but I will put it in the description below so you can check it out if you want. So these are what they look like, and these are actually paints that I got very recently, I think about 2 weeks ago. So I haven't had a chance to use them too much yet. So I'm not sure I can review it very honestly because I don't know how they work yet. Moving on, I have some dry pastels by the company Sudha 68, and these are again a set that I've had since college. I absolutely love this set. I have nothing to compare it to because I haven't used dry pastels from any other brand, and a lot of my favorite works from back in college are using this medium. So this is something that I haven't tried out recently, but I should. And finally, for my last supply, I have these oil pastels from the brand Pentel. Now, I have gushed about these, I think, in my oil pastels video, which I will link somewhere. But these are also a brand that I really like. They are a little bit more intermediate or professional grade quality, I would say, as compared to like a Faber-Castell or a Camlin. But they work so well. They are so creamy and smooth and pigmented that I love these. And finally, we're at the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked my whole art supply collection, please let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you want me to do a very similar craft edition of this. So I will do that as well, and I'll see you next time.